Okay. Okay, I got my volume turned on.
Okay, you can hear us?
Yep, I can hear you, Rob.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, let's stand and say the pledge.
The live stream is still trying to, okay, we're good.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do you have a chance to read the minutes?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
We need to do the agenda.
Yes.
We need to do the agenda.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, hang on, Dave.
Yeah.
Let's approve the agenda first. Is there a motion to
Okay.
approve the agenda as presented?
I so move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, now let's go to the minutes from the previous meeting. Actually, we've got two meetings here, the 13th and the 23rd.
okay, I'll go back to that. I'll make a motion to accept both minutes for both meetings.
Okay, Dave moved to approve the minutes.
I will second that motion.
Lee second. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now for the bills. These are the add-ons. What's direct med?
First aid and we had to get a new AED.
Oh, the defibrillator, okay. I don't see anything. Consumable. This is for the satellite.
Should be 3 sheets to sign, which is 2.
Yep, we're good.
Can you turn the volume off there?
There's a signal in the back, Dave. Do I hear a motion to approve the bills as presented?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I will second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. First item on the agenda is the Sheriff's Department updates.
So I don't have a whole lot as far as we were looking at, we did budget for a vehicle, and we're looking at possibly looking at a new vehicle. We get my vehicle that's gonna have close to 100,000 on it here within a few months, and our other Tahoe, I believe, is already over 100. So.
Okay,
which one needs the new engine?
that's the third, that's,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
besides.
We need to do
Got
that.
it, got it.
No, I don't think we're gonna,
we won't be putting a motor into that one.
no. And I guess that was, I guess about all we had right off.
Yeah, you know, within a few months, this will be up around 100,000, be looking at that replacement
Okay,
age. And I found a company out of Minnesota that does the similar to what the last outfit we went with, only they'll take trade-ins.
which one would you trade?
To be decided right now, either the
Yeah.
pickup or the older Tahoe, whichever one meets the
The
most.
one that you used to drive?
Yeah.
We'd book both of them out and see what the value is on each one, I guess.
So
Okay.
hopefully the trade will cut down the price a little bit, and we already figured it in the budget for this year, because we knew we'd have one coming up that we needed to get rid of.
cost about the same as the other two?
It should be right around that 75 grand. I'm hoping less with the trade-in. So,
And then that's completely equipped?
Yeah.
For 75?
so basically, we're looking for the nod right now to look into it, and I'll get some prices from this company and bring them to the next commission meeting.
Don't
Well-
hurt to look.
I'm okay, but I do have a couple horses for sale. Yeah, I think you need to.
Looking don't cost. At least we know where we're at.
Okay, I'll bring you some numbers next meeting.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
That's about all we have.
okay.
So, unless you guys have anything for us.
No, you're working on the secretary staffing, so
Yes.
I'm sure that's,
Yeah.
is where it is, okay?
Yeah.
Alice has that on
Working
the
with
agenda
Alice.
further down.
Okay.
And she's at like an EM training.
she'll be
She'll be here
She
later?
will be here by about
Okay.
2:30.
Then we
Good
can talk
enough,
about
we'll
it then.
talk about it then, yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep.
Tax abatements, it's Patty?
So that's a Patty thing, which she's at a conference today or has sick kids, one of the two or both. So she sent me to do them. I have them here. She said that these taxes have not been paid yet, so it's more of just basically they're just off.
Okay,
They don't get a check. It's the same farmer, just 2 different years that needs approval.
wow, I see, right here.
The amount is on the back of those sheets, like what's being taken off for each year.
Okay.
So these shouldn't have even been done in the first place, right?
They didn't fill out the paperwork,
Gotcha.
from my understanding.
Okay. Okay,
Is Lee aware of what we're talking about at all? Well, he knows about the abatement, so.
Yeah.
yeah. We do have an abatement here to discuss, so. Just somebody didn't have their paperwork filled out, but it's here now.
Yeah, okay, I understand what you're talking about. I'm watching the video and the voice is a bit whack with my phone.
Okay. Okay, is there a motion to accept the application for abatement?
I will so move.
Lee moved, is there a second?
I'll second.
Dave seconded, is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carried.
Um,
Building permit 1079.
Yep. I think I need your signature, but I'll get it after.
Okay, good enough.
Okay. You each have a copy of that building permit. Unless you wanted to wait a little bit for planning and zoning since we're like 40 minutes ahead of schedule.
Oh, sorry. Let's do that.
Don't they usually bring donuts when they want a building permit?
I think I brought them and you guys canceled the meeting. I actually brought a meat tray.
I don't know what he's
That's
talking
right.
You want me to hold off, Gene? So we,
If that's up to you
Yeah,
guys, we
no,
could
that's-
jump
if
down to
it's-
some of this
you're-
other
you're
business.
okay.
I'm good, Rob. I'm here for the duration.
Okay,
So,
sounds good. Let's do some portfolio stuff.
perfect.
Is there any portfolio reports we need to discuss or talk about?
No, I haven't had a coal conversion counties meeting now in a month and a half. And, I was at a meeting here last Monday for Northwest landowners to listen to speakers, and I'll be going to another one next week down Jamestown. That's all I've got.
Okay. Do you have anything, Lee?
no, I don't.
I don't either. Okay. Les, you're up next.
Do you want me to grab Lauren?
Please,
Yes.
yes, if she's got the details.
Okay. I will go grab her.
I had the abstract brought up today. And on one of those sheets, in 1932, land was sold to the county. In 1979, the other sheet shows where Dad bought it back in section 24, but he did not buy it back in in the northeast quarter. He bought the northwest quarter back, but not the northeast quarter, which amounts to, it says 0.55 in there.
Acres. Half an acre, basically.
Yeah. And I've been paying, I believe I've been paying taxes on it all the while because the taxes are the same in both quarters. Same on.
We check the tax roll, you're not paying the taxes on it, it's exempt from there, it's pulled out.
I'm
When
not-
you look at the acreage on that parcel, you're not paying real estate taxes on it.
Yeah, he's paying
Well,
on
come
what,
on, paying the
154
Same
acres?
on both quarters then.
They both along 25?
Yeah.
Because they both have that 40 acre chunk out of it then is my guess. Or
There's no
40 foot, sorry.
Yeah, 40 foot. I'm not arguing about that.
No, I said acres, I didn't mean to. But it's on both parcels then is my guess, the northeast quarter and
Right, right,
the northwest
right.
quarter. So
Not
because
arguing
it's,
that at all.
because it's not in either of them and you're not paying taxes on it, the taxes are the same and the acreage is the same.
Yeah, but this 0.55.
So, I was up here this morning, tried to learn more about it. We gotta do a lot of homework, because I'm guessing when 25 was rebuilt, both sides are gonna have the same thing as you. So we gotta figure out how we're gonna handle that. Because if every landowner wanted to, buy it back,
Do you know if the people further down the road had the same issue, Les? Or was that just because of
I
some
don't
hills
know.
or something?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it till
Yes.
Mike mentioned
Updated,
it to
yeah.
me when
Becky
he
and I
brought
checked
that
the
tax up
records.
to date.
And going both ways, east or west of Les's stuff, both landowners have the same
It's 40 feet.
40-foot thing.
Yeah,
that
it's
goes
40
across.
feet all over. I'm
So
not.
what it boils down to is you've got the right of way for the section line, 33 feet, right?
Right,
Okay, that's an easement, statutorily an
Yeah.
easement. So Les owns to the middle of the road,
right.
okay? An easement to the state for the
The
road,
yellow line.
but then the county owns a 40-foot chunk. Because it was deeded over to them. It's not an easement, the county owns a 40-foot chunk. Then Les owns the rest of the quarter. Then it's
No,
like that.
Not according to the abstract. I miss some 0.55 acres.
Which is a 40-foot chunk.
No.
No, yeah,
No,
it's 40 feet wide that
No,
goes
no,
along.
no.
Did I pull that deed?
I've got a copy of them here. I don't have the.
There's a
actual
curve
plat.
in there. It mentions a curve in there.
That's on the parcel number 9, and the 0.55 acres is parcel number 11. So there's
Right,
two
two
small
separate.
parcels that are tied in. So number 9 is the curve.
Yep, and that
and
was
then
deeded
11
back.
Yep.
Yep.
In 24, in the northwest quarter, but not
Where
what
the-
was taken out of the northeast quarter. That's what
Right,
this is
and
all about.
it's a 40-foot tract that was transferred to 40-foot wide, the length of the quarter. Because it's all the way along 25, there's a 40-foot chunk just outside that 33-foot right-of-way that the county owns, all the way along. At least as far as we looked. I mean, we didn't do all of them, obviously, in one day,
Right.
but the few we looked at, there's the 33-foot right-of-way, and then there's a 40-foot chunk the county owns, and then Les owns the rest. I can go pull that 40-foot thing if you want that.
If I own it, good.
Not the 40 feet. The county owns a 40-foot chunk in there.
I understand that. I'm not concerned with that 40 feet.
Well, that's where the 0.55 acres is.
No, it's not. Besides that.
Where?
Lee, are you aware of any of this, or was this
Yeah.
before your time?
Yeah. I made a couple notes when I first heard about this, and my thoughts are that the county records are official, and anyone that thinks the land description isn't accurate should have the property surveyed to correct the property lines, if necessary. If the county records are wrong, county should pay for the survey. But if the landowner wants it surveyed, if they have that right, then they pay for it. But the county records are the official records.
So what does the county record show? what it shows on the,
Yeah, this is a lawyer question.
This is definitely a Patrick question, and he should be here in about 10-15 minutes, so.
Is it okay if we come back to this,
yeah,
Les?
sure, it's fine.
Okay, we'll, I don't understand all that
Well, I
I'm
legal
gonna pay
jargon.
taxes on this land, I'm sure, on that 5.5
Well,
acres.
according to what Lauren had looked up in Mickey, yeah, you were paying taxes. But, I know I would have the same
But
question on my road.
according to my abstract, I don't own it.
Yeah, we
That's
don't
what,
quite
that's why I'm here.
Not, yeah, doesn't own it and hasn't been paying taxes on it.
It's not
That's
40
what we
feet for a
came
half
up
mile,
with.
because that's 2.4 acres. I did the math,
And then what is this one?
but it says 40 feet. I mean, I'm reading that.
So what's this one? Out of 2.89 acres.
Is that on the same section? Because Les said, you said there's different quarters.
Yeah, yeah, right, it's a different quarter.
Okay.
It was the northwest quarter and the northeast quarter.
Okay, here's the northeast.
24.
Also northeast quarter.
Is that the 79 one? That's one where Dad bought it
April
back.
14, 32. This is the original one.
Okay. See, and that one will just say the northwest quarter, and this one will say include the little bit out of the northeast quarter.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the problem is, right there.
Oh, that's what I was figuring.
We need to get ahold of Bernice and have her come back and explain this.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
Okay, let's table this until our attorney comes and then
That's
we'll.
fine,
Okay,
that's fine with me.
okay, thanks, Les.
Thank you.
911 joint powers agreement.
I need to send that down for printing. That's the one thing I forgot to print today. So I'll send it to Linda to print, and we
Okay.
can jump back to that one. If you want to, yeah. See if I just emailed it to her.
Security system quote.
So there's a quote in your iPad. We can test out the new system. I did get a quote
Yeah, let's get some
from
training here.
Electro Watchman, which is our.
Okay, where do I find it?
Flip it the other way around.
New iPad, new one.
Text quote,
This one and this one. These two.
You
Oh,
two are
we're gonna
staying
go-
after. We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Oh, sorry.
Going next door and figure it all out.
This is totally different than the iPad I got the other day.
These two. So one is a
Okay.
panic button, and the other one is an actual like buzz-in system for the front doors. They gave me quotes for both. The panic alarm came up, I think, last year because Carrie went around and tested all the ones that we currently have, and more than half of them don't actually work.
Okay.
Because the building is pretty much entirely metal and the system bounces off and it doesn't work. So my button that's down there, come into my office, I can't do anything about it. This system, Ward County Jail, or not jail, the courthouse put it in, I think it was early last year, and they said that they've had no issues with it. So it's a different type of system that goes through all the metal and whatever else. So if nothing else, this is an option where we can actually push the button and somebody comes, hopefully, if you're around. And then the other one is a buzz-in system, similar to like what the school has, where the doors remain locked. The first set is open, the second set would be locked. You push the button, it's like a camera. Somebody has control of letting somebody in. Ideally, it would be somebody in the sheriff's department. But if they're not here, we'd have to have a backup. And another backup, it's not an ideal
Okay,
option.
it says for the
but,
panic one, you've got to run a new cable.
most
would that be
likely,
about?
yes, because the cables are probably outdated and
So would that be for a receiver at the east end, or what's that cable gonna do?
that would tie into,
Oh yeah, here's a
Down
receiver,
here.
okay.
because everything right now with the system we currently have goes to the sheriff's office. There was a panel where whoever's button went off, it lit up. And then Carrie could either shut it off if it was an accident, or it would alert, I think, dispatch. At some point, it went to dispatch. if nobody responded here. Thank you.
So Lee, are you aware of the numbers for these at all?
I can.
No, I'm not.
I can read them off here. The new panic buttons would be $6,942.18 to get set up, and that includes buttons and the entirely new system for down in the sheriff's department. And then the buzz-in system, they call it an AI phone, would cost $4,996.15. That would also include what they call a mag lock, so the secondary set of doors would have like a lock on it where it's a massive magnet and would click off when you let somebody in.
So, a question now. The doors would be, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so there would be a push button in each office on the one set up the first one you talked about, so anybody in the building could unlock the door?
Nope. So that would be your panic button system like we currently have that doesn't work everywhere. Where if there's an issue in, say, my office, I can push the button and it sends an alarm down to the sheriff's department and they can respond. And then it would also go up to dispatch at some point. And then the second option is just for the front door. It's like a buzz-in system where the first set of doors is unlocked, the second set is locked 24/7. They push a button, there's a camera, you can talk to them, and then we let them in if we're okay with it. So if it's Dave Berger walking into the building and he looks a little suspicious, I can say, sorry, no entrance.
So one office would be in charge of that portion? I don't understand that though.
The problem is, ideally it would be the sheriff's department. But if we don't have somebody in the building controlling it, a secondary person would have to also have access to it. So whether that is the auditor's office, the treasurer's office, whoever that may be, you have to have a backup in the event somebody's gone, if they're out sick or on vacation. It's not an ideal option, but it's something because we don't have anything right now. So
Okay, thank you. That explains it to me a little better.
Yep.
Okay.
So does the one work under my desk here? Can I check it?
I don't know.
That one works in here.
So if I hit the button, do you know how to reset it?
Yeah, you can reset it.
Is it loud
works.
or what's it do?
It'll start beeping. You
Okay,
can
no
hear it.
electric shock out of your guys' mouth?
Yeah, this
Try
one
it.
works.
See what cares.
I'd like to know. I think I'll come in tomorrow.
What are your preferences, Lee?
I guess probably, I don't know if the commissioner should have a preference or if the people that are going to be working under those conditions should have a preference to tell us
What's the staff
which they
preference?
prefer.
I can do a survey. I can ask the entire building what their thoughts are. I guess as far as the building being secure, when the sheriff's department isn't here, we're kind of on our own. So as far as that goes, generally we don't feel unsafe in here, but there can be situations where somebody may come in and they're either disgruntled or there's something else entirely going on, and it can get really uncomfortable. And we don't really have aside from a panic button, we can't carry in a courthouse. So
The thing is with the airphone thing, once they're in the building, you still won't have nothing.
correct. This is kind of one of those, if nothing else, it's an option, but I don't know that it's the right option, because if we don't have one of the guys or even a security person, what good does it do us? Because we could look at the camera and say, oh, they look fine, let them in. And unknown to us, they do
go
have
off the deep end.
as sheriffs, you're kind of our security, so what are your thoughts?
Yeah, what are your thoughts? I guess, like she said, if we're not around and we can't be in the building all the time, so, I mean, if we're in town, it's only gonna take us, a minute or two to get here, but a lot of times we could be on the west end of the county, or we could be on the east end of the county, and we're looking at
Half hour.
We're gonna have to get the road superintendent involved, make
So-
him come up here.
I think just in general, like I said, the staff here, we normally don't feel unsafe. It's not a concern of every day we have an issue of somebody coming in angry, upset, threatening, whatever. But it's more of a matter of when, not really if, because we don't have anything right now. And obviously, if somebody's that mad, nothing's going to deter them. But we all at times we all feel a little bit,
But these buttons haven't worked for quite some time, right?
I'd say maybe half, if not a little bit more than, I know mine doesn't work. Because she
Okay.
came down and tested it, and that's when we talked about updating the ones that we have, and then at the time, the cost was not really an option,
I
but
think I suggest we table it till next month, and Lee will be back, and we can all look this over a little
Yeah,
bit.
talk to the two, see what their thoughts are.
that's fine, I can do that.
Okay?
But the buttons that are here, they've been in here for quite a while.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
buttons that are in the courthouse right now just go to a security box in the sheriff's department. They don't leave the building. So if there's nobody here or in that office that can hear it,
It's done.
it still doesn't do any good, even the ones
it
that.
literally, it don't dispatch, it don't nothing. It goes to,
Yeah, let's table this till next month.
That's fine, yep.
Okay. You're on? You wanna be up first?
Sure. What am I talking
Do you
about?
wanna handle less?
Where did
He's
Les?
back here.
Back here. Ready now?
Yep.
Lauren was going to pull the one plat that we had found, so
Okay.
she was gonna bring a copy, so
Okay.
if you want me to, I can.
That's all I have.
Okay.
It'd
Way
be
on the bottom.
this paragraph.
Okay, I didn't bring my
Let's
glasses.
see. Last three sentences.
Down here?
Yep.
Okay. It's running along with the.
This is the email I sent you.
I
yesterday.
know. I didn't get a chance to look at it. So it's just the legal description.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So the problem is, from the first deed in 1932 to the one in 1979, the first deed sold the county. It was like 3.09 acres and then 0.55 acres. In 79, the 3.09 went back to the landowner.
Okay.
Dad bought it, yeah, my
To
dad bought it.
Raymond, and the 0.55 stayed with the county.
Okay.
From what was found in the vault yesterday and now today, there is a plat with a state DOT highway right-of-way for this 0.55 acres that just never went back to the Hinkies. The question is right now, why didn't that go back with the other? Is there, because of the right-of-way, is that why it didn't go back? Les said that he's been paying taxes. We did check the tax roll,
Yeah.
and that's not on there. The 0.55 acres is not on the tax roll. We did look at that yesterday. I double
So
checked.
you mean I'm not paying
You're
tax
not
now?
on that 0.55 acres. There's no taxes being
So
paid.
why
on
is
there.
it the same acreage in both quarters then?
Uh,
That's where I'm
we'd have to
thinking that I
look. We'd
paid
have to
taxes
look at
on.
that.
Was that because they're both along the road?
They're both
They're both
along the
along the-
highway, so there's
they'd be
easements
the
that
same then.
there's
Yeah,
easements that get
maybe.
taken out.
Mine never are. There's always fractions difference.
It depends on the easements too that are,
Right.
within there. We can double check both of them, but from what we found, the county still owns the 0.55 acres. The
Is-
question is,
Do we need it? What do we need
Well,
it for?
and what's the proper procedures of selling land? I mean,
Sure. No, that's a great question. So I apologize. I just was made aware of this yesterday.
Yeah,
Um,
I was
And
last
so
Friday, so.
I don't have an answer for you today, but I promise I will do the research. So if I
Okay.
understand the question correctly, is, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but the question is, can the county sell the land back to him? Is that what's being asked?
That's, I think, part
Yeah,
of
that's
it,
what I
right?
would
Yeah,
like. I
'cause
would
Les
like
would
to own the land.
And is the mere fact that the state highway has a right of way somehow prohibit that from
Correct.
happening?
Yeah.
Okay, I will get an answer and I will submit that to you.
Lauren is digging right now too, so yeah, just send me and then we can go from there and figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty straightforward question. I just don't have the answer right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, like I say, I never knew that the county owned this land.
Sure.
Until I had the abstract brought up today, and then Mike mentioned it to me.
And we did, I mean, there were a couple that we looked in that same area, a couple of other landowners in that same area that had the same situation back in 32 where they sold it to the county.
Here's the deed to the county. There's two separate parcels. One is parcel 11, one is parcel 9. It says it somewhere.
Which parcel are we talking about?
11. So this one. Okay, so parcel 11 is in the northeast quarter.
Yep.
That's right here.
This is the 0.55 acres?
Yep, right here.
Okay.
This is where it's, so here's how it's described. All
Sure, my
that
dad
portion of the
didn't know it
northeast
at the
quarter.
time, but he
Da,
got
da, da,
that
35,
included.
0.55.
He got the one quarter, but not
So
the other
essentially
quarter.
what
Well,
it
the other
is,
one had the big
is
curve in it.
there's a
We wanted to
33
put our
foot right of way
fence straight,
statutorily,
so
right?
that's
So
why
Les
it
owns
was
the middle of that. Then there's this
But
chunk
now
here, this
apparently our fence
parcel
is
11
sitting
that's
on-
drawn out, that
Oh.
the county owns, because it was actually deeded to them. And one of them was deeded,
So I'm guessing to sell it back, we got a bid.
Right.
this is the
The
one that was
larger
did,
land
right?
was deeded.
I
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
actually right
I
on
would
to
have
his
hope
dad.
not.
So this first description here, the 2.89,
That's Raymond's.
yeah, this 309, whatever.
Mhm.
So that's this. This
Okay.
was deeded back, that was not. Or no, this was too, because that's what's here.
Okay.
And then, but this is the other one that was omitted from this deed for whatever reason, I don't know. But it seems intentional because it's the full description and da da da. But this is what it looks like. So the
I
curve
don't
is,
think my dad knew that.
the
they
curve
had
is
that.
over here, I guess
Yep,
is the biggest
yep,
thing.
Yep.
And so the parcel you're talking about is 11. It's over here.
Yeah,
The curve
Yeah.
is this one's already been taken care of.
Right,
That's in a different
right.
deed. So the curve has nothing to do with the parcel we're dealing with now.
no,
The little bit of extra legal description is because there's this tiny chunk right here that crosses into northeast quarter. That's why it's not just here's the straight chunk. That's why it's meets and bounds because of this right here, just this little piece. But when you're it's right here is what the county has.
And is there any indication as to what the thinking was behind?
Jaden kind of went through the minutes.
I
and it
checked the
wasn't-
minutes from the original time frame, the 1932, and there was, because in the deed it references like FAP, whatever, and that was a road grade project with the state, which it was gravel at the time. And then after that, there was nothing. I looked in 1979 for the next deed, and there was something in there about when Mahoney was state's attorney, he was supposed to do a warranty deed or a quick claim deed. But it wasn't the same description as this one, but I think there was possibly a typo.
Well, so I'm thinking the point of the deed that was done, the
Yeah.
one that Raymond got, was because it was this curve, and this
Yeah.
curve doesn't exist. So when they actually built the road,
Well, they straightened it out.
they straightened it out. So they
they
gave
went
him
through the
back.
hill instead of going around it.
They gave him back the stuff that they had previously had deeded over for this quarter, not this quarter.
Okay.
Because this was still straight. They still needed that. They still wanted that. So
I
the
don't
county owns this chunk over here.
Okay.
Just like the neighbors and on this side and the neighbors on that side and all, the few that we looked along. All of the along there, the county still owns that same chunk from all of the landowners.
And you're thinking that possibly there was supposed to be a quick claim deed done returning that?
Not the .55, that was
No.
just the one
Okay.
with the curve.
Right,
From
this
what,
one.
from what I understand
So what's-
from that.
So we don't know why the .55 was excluded.
No.
It just
No.
was.
I don't think my dad knew it at the time,
It
so
hasn't
he
been
didn't
returned
try
to
and
any
buy
of
it.
the landowners.
It's an
The only
oversight.
reason this one was
Yeah,
returned
so
was
that's
to
what
get,
it is
because
mostly, yeah.
this was omitted.
Okay.
So they gave him back the land that had been previously cut off because of the curve.
Is there any reason why the county would need that land?
I don't know. That's not I'm not a road guy.
Is there
I don't
anything
know.
about the right of way
But-
that would prohibit us from returning the land?
So
to the
it's
county?
not, we paid them for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The county bought it from all the landowners all the way along.
Yeah.
So this isn't an isolated thing, I guess, is what I'm saying. If I think Flieger LLP owns Next, okay, so if they come in and say, well, I got 48, the 0.55 acres there too. So whatever you do with this one,
We've got precedence.
you're opening up a door there for the rest of it.
It's part of that curve is what it is.
It's not. The curve is
Yeah.
gone. The curve is in the northwest
So they
quarter.
bought more land than they needed at one time.
So because of the curve that was supposed to be in there, they took this stuff here and da da da. So rather than them continuing to own this and all the way into here, they gave it back so that they only owned along
But we
the road
don't know why this land was purchased, it just was.
Right.
for the road for the project that Jaden was talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
whatever.
Originally, it was for a road grading project, like redo gravel all along there for however long of a stretch before it became, I'm assuming before it became
Right.
Highway 25, before the state. I mean, they have this right of way,
County road,
but
I
I
think.
mean, at that point, it was just
county
gravel.
road.
Right.
Just a gravel.
So this
dirt
could be the
road.
same problem all the way from Hanover to center on both sides.
Depending on how it was all done or whatever, yeah, you know what I mean, and so
Probably
that's the.
look into it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is something that we're gonna be able, I mean, I guess I wouldn't make a
Can't fix
decision
it
on
today.
anything. Right, I mean, you guys should dig into it a little bit, maybe talk to the state to see if there's any reason that the county should hang on to that chunk.
You know who to contact, Kenny? At the state? Okay.
Cause like, yeah, like I said, this isn't an isolated thing is the biggest.
Do we
Well,
know
I'm
how
guessing
many,
Jim Jackson could
how many
have
other
It is
acres,
isolated myself.
or how many other
I
landowners?
mean, there's
would
no,
be-
I just looked at this morning, so there's
We'd
no way I
have
had
to
time
go
to do
through
the
all the
entire length
deeds
of Highway
along
25.
there.
How far is this stretch approximately?
Half mile.
Half a
Yeah.
mile? Okay.
But that's, yeah, so there's these plats for the whole thing and
Actually, it's
like
not even
this
a half
is,
mile. It's just from here to here.
no,
Because 40 feet on a half mile is 2.5 acres.
okay,
I think
and
this
it's,
Oh, and then there's little spots maybe.
yeah, I don't, however, it's, yeah,
Most of those are borrow areas. You gotta think
Again-
about how that ground lays. Is there cuts in the hills out there less?
No, I still think it's a little corner that they bought extra for that curve.
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
yes.
we'll have an
But I
answer.
don't know.
We'll have an answer next
I
month.
don't understand. I can't read it off from here what it is.
Kenny, when you talk to the state, can you let me know what you find out?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get.
Because I mean, if there's
involved on it, too.
nothing preventing the commission from selling
Selling
the
it
land
back.
that would be your call.
We have no need for it.
Well, I
unless
think we need to
there's
get the
something-
engineer involved too.
Right.
He's gonna have to dig in.
Yeah, and then I guess the other question becomes, how many other landowners are within that
Project.
half-mile stretch or whatever it
I'm
is?
assuming it's gonna be that whole 6 mile stretch.
Right.
Six?
At least.
And probably
No.
both sides.
Yeah.
No.
What is this for me? Okay.
Well, hopefully we can get an answer for you, Patrick.
Yeah,
Look into
we'll
it.
look
Thank
into it,
you.
Les.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I don't have an answer for you.
Why? I understand.
Where are we at time? Oh, no, we're late. Kenny, you're up.
Do we want to do planning and zoning since we haven't done that?
We could get
Oh,
them out of
Okay, you
here.
can do that.
Okay,
Yeah, because
okay.
these guys are here.
Sorry, I was late, Rob. I had
That's not, it's okay. 1079.
Okay, so back to you.
You had time to go get donuts too. didn't you?
So 1079 is a building permit for Minnesota Power substation. You should all have copies of that over on the table there. Planning and zoning didn't see any issues with it, so
Okay.
And a little background, I guess I checked into, it sounds like the check was received.
yes, we did receive the check. Yep.
Okay, February 5th, it cleared our bank, so, and we had a couple little clarifications that came out of planning and zoning. That was, we had the wrong weed control officers, Jaden helped us through that.
Okay.
And resubmitted, and then we had, we needed more, the current road use agreement.
Yes,
That
and
is
that was
current in
there
your
too.
packet
This
right
is
now.
the most updated application. So the road use agreement that we approved last fall is the one that is currently in there.
This is the
That was-
project you started on last fall.
This is the
Yep.
project we started on
This is
last
the
fall.
map.
We didn't have engineering, at the time for this other 345,000 volt switching station.
Okay,
So we're
Here's the
submitting
one they're
that.
working on now, and then here's the new one.
Correct.
that's the Flibinger yard.
Yep.
Yep. And we're expanding the yard off 32nd Avenue Southwest.
Okay,
So
south and east.
there's a permit for that. Yes. Yep, southwest corner there of it. So there's a permit for that. And then there's also a permit for what we're calling the Nelson Lake substation that Dave pointed out on your
That's
map.
this one, okay.
Yep.
Planning and zoning's got no issues?
They didn't, nope, they asked a couple of questions, but that was
Yeah.
about it.
That was just on this one, the east one.
It's
Or
on
both.
Both.
Okay, then can I ask, everything's good with the landowners?
We're working through our easements with them still, Dave. We have paperwork with them that we've been passing back and forth.
Okay,
But yeah, they've all committed to sign once we just get a little further along in the process right now. We will be coming back for another building permit with the county and planning and zoning for the line work that ties the two together in sometime early 2027. But we just don't have engineering prepared to talk to it specifically right now.
How about the access road off of 25 for the second one?
Yep, access road off 25.
that's what he's talking about.
We're coming down the quarter section there, that would border Bittner, Mary Earhart and Liebold, and then Matt Earhart
On the
Senior.
west,
Yep.
okay.
And then it's a vaguely on the south end that we go against there too. We purchased the property from, and we've I've been speaking with them steady here for a couple of years, and we got easements in their hands.
Okay,
Nothing signed yet, but
Right.
there's no indication that they won't. Obviously, a building permit won't. We won't be able to get there if we don't have roads. So.
How about the access off of the highway?
Yep, our engineering firm Burns and McDonald spoke to the state on that, and there's a building permit or a road approach permit coming off of there.
Not gonna do like what we talked about possibly with the truck traffic, the turn lane right
Yeah,
there.
we had talked about a turn lane.
Yep, that's the study came back and they said that they did not feel there's a
Okay.
turn lane needed
That's-
through the visual line of sight and everything else there.
Perfect.
okay.
So, a couple small requests from the landowners. Gated access on the quarter section. Once it hits the county section, we can't gate that, but they just want to control access and fencing, some seed mixes, stuff like that we're working through.
That's for you to deal with.
Yep.
Well,
And
I
they've
think
been
like he's
real
been working
cooperative.
with Jim, with the engineers, and with Kenny, so I think
Okay.
as long as you continue that, that's great.
Yeah, more engineering is working right now to improve, or the engineering for 32nd Avenue Southwest from 25, 2.5 miles into our site. They're going to improve that
Oh,
road to
that's the
county.
east project, okay,
Yep. And that'll be another permit, some more easements that we'll work through, but
sure.
that'll be sometime this spring. You guys will have to put up with me again.
Okay,
Are you understanding all that, Lee?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion to approve that permit.
is there a second?
I will second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Just need your
Thanks for
signature.
coming.
Yep, thank you.
Matt signed on the wrong line at the meeting, so you just have to use my hand-drawn line.
Northern Plains Connector,
That's your big binder.
You're welcome, sorry.
For nothing. Here, you can have this
Gentleman
one.
asked, where's the short version?
Short? I'll give you the Cliff Notes version if you want. So yeah, my name is Denisha Cummings. I'm a developer with North Plains Connector.
Molly Smith with Frederickson Byron Outside Council.
Did you get my email?
No.
Didn't you ask for a road use agreement?
Oh, you mean a couple of years ago?
No. Didn't I get an email from you? Okay.
It wasn't me, but
We'll take it though. Yeah, so we've been around here for about 4 years. We're developing a HVDC transmission line that goes from Colstrip to Center in St. Anthony. It's about 420 miles. Bidirectional line, so it means you can ship power either direction. The portion in this county is 11 miles. I think we have 33 landowners, and it's one of the AC portions of the line. We have worked out agreements with all landowners. We have one left in this county to sign. It's agreed to, just logistically getting it signed. In the state, we're 99% acquired. So after the one landowner here, one in Morton, will be 100% private landowner signed in North Dakota. We're about 96% private in Montana, just wrapping up some of the language in those agreements as well. We have, in North Dakota, this is our 5th conditional use permit. We've got the rest of them starting in Golden Valley. We have Morton County after this one, but it's just for the facility. They don't require it for the transmission line. That hefty application there, I don't know if you've had a chance to read through it, but we went through and showed where we've complied with the ordinance. We've also included additional supplemental documents in the back of the CUP application. One is a weed plan that we have hoping to approve next month, March, I think. Wait to get an officer in place to have that reviewed and approved. And then we've also included the road use agreement that we worked with Kenny on, as well as, I think you've seen it in the previous state's attorney. That will also be to be approved later on. It's a pretty comprehensive document. I think we'll be back, started saying March, but that's next month. And next month to start the ball rolling on that. Part of that road use agreement is an engineering assessment, county's choice, who they would like to evaluate the roads. And any improvements that need to occur before we use them. And then we'd want to put those in place prior to construction, which I guess is my next point. We'd be starting that late next year. We call it pre-construction, but all intents and purposes, it is construction, road prep, yard prep, access road prep, that kind of stuff, with 2028 being full-on mainline construction. So.
Do you know how many poles would be in Oliver County?
So 11 miles, and so we have anywhere from average 4 to 5 a mile. So somewhere in the mid 50s. I can get you an exact number, but
Nope, just curious.
yeah.
And you said you were, what percentage of landowners in Oliver County?
So we have one left,
One left.
and the agreement's worked out. We're just logistically getting it signed. So,
That's the map there, Dave.
I don't know if I want to bring this up. There was also there's a road boundary issue there, which is what's taken a bit of time to get the
That's
needs
one
and
of-
bounds worked out.
14 maps. Lee, any questions?
I didn't read everything word for word, but I did go through that manual that you sent out, and it's quite lengthy. And I would, you're applying for the conditional use permit for this, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I would move that we approve the conditional use permit.
Right. I do have a copy. We've been, because this is easiest for us later on to be able to show the PSC and everyone else that we have it. We have copies of a resolution that we've done in other counties. This is very similar. So the one thing that we've asked is the ability, I think we talked about this with planning and zoning too, but the ability to adjust the route and structure locations, permanent temporary access roads, so long as they're on the same landowner's parcel and the landowner approves. So
What that is just more like a micro adjustment. Like it's where we've got, so sometimes in construction you'll come across something while we've done extensive surveys. You might come across an artifact that you have to jog. And so if it's on the same landowner, rather than coming back before the commissions, we would like to be able to make that change and file final maps at the end of construction that show the actual, any of the changes.
Planning and zoning's got no issues, Gene?
No. I think they had a few questions, but other than that, they approved it, so.
And the only other thing in there is a commitment to have the easements in place before starting construction on the
Right,
front.
and you're almost there, so.
Yeah.
And I believe you said they're all steel poles?
Yep, they're monopoles. So that's the tubular construction. We don't anticipate any lattice structures. We had contemplated lattice structures at the beginning of construction where we do some of the sharp turns. Because one of the things that we did on this line is called stakeholder first, where we work with landowners on routing adjustments. And so there's quite a few more bends that you would normally see. And sometimes those structures, you need a lattice or a two-pole structure, so you don't have to put the guy wires. But we are going to use two-pole or bi-pole structures rather than the lattice.
Okay.
Largely because you can't get American-made lattice. So. right now. Yeah, and not right now. It's hard to for this line.
There's about one supplier for it, and it's not real reliable.
Yeah, and so, and these will be the rust color. It's called Core 10. So that rust brown.
Our last line was going east from here.
Are you gonna string the wires with helicopter?
Mm-hmm. We will in some cases, yeah.
Looking for volunteers to hang out the bottom, maybe.
In my free time. We've got a motion to approve this. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any further discussion? You ladies have anything to add?
Terry, last minute words of encouragement?
Is the language that they just presented acceptable to you? Because I'm guessing you would prefer this in the minutes versus just a motion that we approved it.
Yes, it would be great if we could get a signed copy. Just we will provide it to the PSC.
Which that's being filed
Before
later
we
this
final
month.
vote, I want to make
Yes,
sure
sir.
this is acceptable. So,
You seeing any issues with this?
Nope.
Okay, is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, folks.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
can you sign these also, Rob? And then I'll get you the final copy of the actual permit. too, so.
Okay, we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Yeah, see you next month, I think.
I'll take those, Rob. Oh, Johnny, how many other folder you got sitting there? Please. Thank you.
Data centers, crypto mining facilities discussion.
So basically, I'm bringing this up because I was informed that there's been contact made by a company wanting to put in a data center in Oliver County. I was asked by our planning and zoning chair to bring up the ordinance discussion at our next planning and zoning meeting, and I called each of you to just kind of bring this up. We had kind of hit pause on working on data center ordinances because the NDACO and the state, like they had been working on a template for us to use as a more of a guide, not word for word, take it and go with it. I'm leaving this up to you guys as commissioners to tell me what you would like to see done. We will actively work on an ordinance, but we need time to do that. It's not going to be done in a month or 2 or 3.
So do we need a moratorium? Is that what you're,
If that's what you want
so we could study
as
it?
a commission, we need time. Ordinance work, as you've seen, is not fast work. I did speak to this Daniel Schwartz, who is doing the hazard mitigation plan for Mercer and Oliver County. He talked to me today and he said, if this is something that comes to the county, it needs to be included in our hazard mitigation plan. Meaning they need to be involved in this process as well. And he actually recommended that Stutzman County had just passed an ordinance for data centers, and that we look at theirs and consider adopting it as close to what they have, and then going in and adjusting as needed after it's been kind of looked at. That was his recommendation to me. I guess what you guys want. At this point, we just need some time because we can't adopt an ordinance today. We can't adopt a moratorium today. There are processes involved with that.
But do they want to come talk to us and tell us what they really want, or
Who is that?
that company that wants to?
They did not speak to me. I was just informed that they had reached out and that they're interested, or they're looking at a location in Oliver County. So.
Has a question. Has the state, they've researched and prepared an ordinance that they have completed?
Aaron Burst sent out an email, it might have been this morning, with the draft. It's a template, it's a guide, it is not an actual ordinance. It's a guide for counties to use, not word for word, but to kind of go in and look at and implement so that it fits your county's needs. And then that is also kind of where this Daniel Schwartz with Nexus for our hazard mitigation plan recommended to me to let you guys know that we should consider looking at what Stutzman County just adopted, I think, last week, and go from there. So
is this gonna be the same company that's in Ellendale?
Yes.
The Applied
Applied
Digital?
Sounds right, yep.
And I see in my email, I just received from the Stutzman County Auditor a copy of their adopted ordinance. So that is something that I can forward to you to look at, and then also to the Planning and Zoning Board. Because
So
that
until we
is
do
where-
all that, we probably need a moratorium.
if that's what you guys would like.
Well, what do you?
It would be nice to have some time without pressure to at least look into this. It would help us immensely. But putting a timeline on it is a little bit restrictive. I would say if you're going to do a timeline, a minimum of 6 months, we may not need the 6 months, but I don't think 90 days would suffice. With the one meeting a month that we have, it's really hard to do special meetings with 7 board members, let alone the 3 of you sometimes. So to do working sessions in between the meetings, it's not always doable either. We've done it, but it seems like we have difficulties getting most of the board to be able to be there due to other schedules, so.
Lee, you got an opinion?
Yeah, I do. I don't think it's reasonable for us to wait 6 months to make any decisions on this stuff. We study it for 6 months. I think all the studying has already been done by other counties and by the state. I think we just need a short time to look through what's presented in other counties, and we should, as commissioners, be able to make a decision within a month or two.
Well, we need to go through the planning and zoning process as well. It wouldn't just be the commissioners implementing the ordinance. And no, we wouldn't need to do research, but we have to do the 2-week notice in the paper. We have to actually get the planning and zoning board to look through the language and have Patrick look through it to make sure that everything is good. And by using another county's ordinance to work off of, some of that process would already be taken care of. So yes, it may not take an extended period of time, but I don't think a month or 2 is exactly, that might not be an option either. So I guess.
Well, we should have a public meeting too.
I think
and
there
that
would
is.
have to be.
Yep.
That's kind of coming up in the next point, because you had asked me to add that to the agenda, talking about ordinances and language for ordinances, and I have something that we can look at. Not for data centers, just in general. So I guess that's up to you. If you want me to do a public hearing for a moratorium to allow us to have some time, whether it is a 3-month or a 6-month or whatever, I can get it in the paper for the 2 consecutive weeks prior to February's meeting for the first reading. So we can put a moratorium on data centers to buy us just a little bit of time to do the ordinance work that needs to be done. I just need your guys's, yes, we want planning and zoning to have the hearing and reading and go from there.
So, Bill's here, our legislator. Do you have any input, Bill?
I really don't. I'm listening too, because this process here in Halloween County is new to me, and I wanted to be part of it. The rest of it is before. I've got no input. I hear what Jaden's saying time-wise. I would think 90 days would give you the time you need to go through the process. I don't know if that's cutting you short, Jaden.
With what we have on the docket for February's meeting, we're having a hearing for solar, as well as our bylaws, and we're actively working on, there's one other one that we're working on. 90 days we may be able to, if we take what another county has. If we have to have a special meeting, I'll have to see if the board is willing to come in. We had the 90 days last year, and we didn't make it because there was too much
going on, so.
Yes, Bill.
Just a quick question, I don't know, if you did a 90-day moratorium and you're coming up short, can you move it without too much difficulty? It's a question for your attorney.
Yeah, that question's been asked of me before. I think my advice then was I do think that the commission could do that, provided there's good cause.
Just FYI, the people that we're talking about would like to start construction later this year.
Don't let them rush you.
Well, and I guess as far as that goes, they haven't approached the county at all
No.
to get permits or
No.
anything, so they're kind of,
I have
I guess
visited with them, but I
they're a
know
little
what
bit
they're,
ahead of the game without even coming to planning and zoning or the commission to present where and when and what it's gonna look like, but
Well,
but
I
we
think-
need to have our ducks in a row before that happens.
that's,
And I think it's
That
good
would be
Bill's
ideal.
here to represent us too, because our legislators are gonna be involved in it big time.
Yeah, this is a substantial investment for somebody.
Do you wanna let anybody else in the audience, if they have an opinion?
I know
Alice?
Mercer County is also looking at this as well, so I don't know if you want to reach out to their planning and zoning to see how far they've gotten with theirs.
an ordinance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely, I mean, I reached out to all the planning and zoning directors the other day because I had not heard about the state template. I just heard about that. It has been done for a little bit of time and we just found out that it was done, so that's kind of where I'm at with but other counties have already taken it upon themselves to write their own. They didn't wait for the state, and we had talked about just waiting because we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. Well,
Right.
now we have options to go to with the template from the state as well as a couple of other counties that have actively done something. So
Between Stutzman and the state, you got something to start
we
with.
do, yes, and that would be, it's a good starting point for us. I just, like
Need
I
some
said, I
time.
don't want to rush this because we don't want to run into issues.
What do you want, a motion to do a moratorium?
Well, how
If
do
you give me your blessing to put it up for hearing at the February meeting for a moratorium, but I need a timeline as far as
I
if you
think you
want
need that.
a deadline, or if we leave it kind of open-ended until such a time as an ordinance has been written and approved.
You can't leave a moratorium open for an undefined period
Okay.
of time.
Okay.
This has the potential to be very beneficial, but we don't want to jump in
Well,
not knowing what we're doing either.
as we've seen, we do need some kind of rules and guidelines
Right.
in place, so I just,
Bill?
Can you lift the moratorium early?
Yes.
Yes.
I think we did
The,
that
the
last
reason,
year,
so the reason I would have a concern about an undefined moratorium is because what you can't do, you run the risk of challenges to a moratorium if it's undefined, because industry may come and they may say, again, this is all speculation, I'm not saying anybody would, but you know, it runs the risk of running afoul of certain state and federal issues that I don't want to see you guys get into. And so you could you could make a moratorium for a period of time with the understanding that our planning and zoning board, I'm sure, would act in good faith and would take this seriously as they have everything else that they've been assigned to do, and will produce a working product. I would assume potentially in conjunction with industry, because my experience has been that planning and zoning has worked well with industry to hear their input. It hasn't always driven their decision making. But at any rate, I think that, you know, if planning and zoning is asking for time, it may not be a terrible idea to consider giving it to them, because drafting these ordinances it's a big deal, because you're talking about laying the groundwork for things that will affect the county long into the future. And just because Stutzman County does something one way doesn't mean that all of the county has to do it that way, because our citizens are the people that vote for all of us. They all may have, you know, a particular feel that's different than the citizens of Stutzman may have. And so yes, you can order that a moratorium be put into place, and you can order it for a period of time, and you can lift that if you're satisfied that the original purpose for the moratorium has been made. But please do not initiate a moratorium with an undefined period of time.
120 days?
I'm good with that.
Okay. From the date of passage, right? So like, it has to go to first reading and public hearing on February 26th at the planning and zoning meeting, final approval at our March meeting with you guys.
Okay.
As far as, so
So
120
what is it?
days from the date of passage, final passage?
July?
That'd be August.
August?
August.
Okay.
Okay.
That's almost 5 months from now.
That should be a reasonable amount of time, especially considering we now have something to work
Work off
with
of.
and not just starting completely from scratch.
Are you following that, Lee?
Yes, I am, and I guess if I was going to make a recommendation, 90-day moratorium if we're required to have a moratorium.
That'd be almost 4 months. Really? I guess I'm okay with
I
that.
mean, it's ultimately up to you guys as far as the timeline, and I guess if we feel that we need extension, we can always come to you saying we need another 30 days or something. I mean, realistically, I would hope that it's not going to take us that long. It's just, I don't want to run into the situation where we have issues and then we've got nothing. And
Well, let's go with the 90 days, and then if
We need
we
an
have to extend it,
extension.
we will, because there's a lot to learn.
Sure.
Okay,
Okay.
so I will schedule the public hearing for the February meeting. I'll get the publication to the paper for the 2 consecutive weeks as is required, and we will.
We need a motion on that, right?
You do.
Is there a motion to?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Dave made the motion to have a moratorium on data centers for 90 days. Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
I
Opposed? Okay,
Now, would you get back to
The
them and tell them we
moratorium would
want a
not-
public meeting
The-
also?
Well, the moratorium would not be in place from today. We have
Right.
to have the public hearing. So the motion itself, could we reword it to place a public hearing for a moratorium at the February 26th meeting?
And then it'll come back before the commission in March for a
Correct.
vote
For
on
a
whether to
final
approve
vote.
the moratorium.
Correct.
right.
Is that clear?
Yep.
Okay.
Ordinance discussions? You got any other?
So we are actively having a hearing for the solar facilities ones that we began working on. That'll be at the February 26th meeting also, plus a hearing for the planning and zoning bylaws, where we need a kind of set of guidelines for how things are being done in that, for that meeting, or for that board. I will, obviously the final decision will be up to you guys at the March meeting. And then I guess ordinances, Dave kind of brought this up to me. I know we've talked about this before. This provision in McLean County's ordinance, I think you were talking.
The avoidance
Yes.
zone issue? Yeah.
Yep. So, that's been brought up again. I know it's been recommended by a few people to implement that particular portion of the ordinance into ours. The question would be, what can it be? They have it for wind and solar. Could it also be used for battery or data centers or anything like it can't be used for the things that are preempted by the state, obviously, like a transmission line or a pipeline. But as far as anything else, what are our options? And that might be a question probably for you.
So it's a specific question that you're asking whether we could whether the commissioners could implement language similar to this with respect to data centers and
Battery energy storage systems as well as wind and solar, because for this it's specifically for wind and solar energy facilities, which I'm assuming we would also like to have if there's any new wind facilities coming in or solar. But because data centers and battery are such a new industry, can we also require this of them before they come in? Because they're not preempted by the state
right
in any way.
It's not preempted by the state. It means the state obviously it means that they're not going to prevent it. So I see no reason why the county could not choose to make that part of any ordinance. And again, if that were made a part of the ordinance, there are ways that individuals can challenge it if they feel aggrieved. But I know of nothing that would prohibit us from treating the data centers or the best stuff, any different than what is able to be done for wind and solar. So in a very short way, I know of nothing that would prohibit that.
We just can't do a blanket, this is covering everything on our zoning ordinance because some is preempted by the state, so. We would have to probably put it into each individual ordinance for these facilities or these types of industries versus just a blanket, this covers this, and this, I guess, as far as the language.
And it has to be narrowly tailored to what, because counties have a right to protect their citizens. Counties have a right to do these types of things. There's very limited case law on this that I was able to find that would prohibit you from doing this. And so I think that, I think it could be done. And I think that if it is done and people are upset about it and wish to use the appropriate method to challenge it, there are appropriate ways to do that. And I think it comes down to a reasoned policy decision that you guys have to make that you think is to the benefit of the county, and worrying about whether someone would challenge that decision or not doesn't seem to me to be something that I am concerned about from a legal standpoint.
So for the public, the short version of that, been in touch with McLean County. The whole idea is that any industry that wants to come in, they would come to the county first before they go out and get easements and put all this money into everything, that they'd come to us first. And then that way we could start doing our homework earlier. Otherwise, they're going out and getting easements and, well, now we got all this money tied up, which is taxpayer money, a lot of it. And we would have a better handle on it before it gets too far. So that's the whole idea behind this short version. And I hope I worded that correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you read the plain language of what McLean County has done, and it seems to be a reasonably well-written ordinance thing. It's the intent behind it is to, at least what's written here, the intent behind it is to determine that there is constituent support for these things. People that actually live in Oliver County vote in Oliver County. That's what I think the thought process is behind that particular ordinance, and I think that is why it would likely survive a challenge. I did do some research on this several months ago when it was brought up, and I do see avenues where it could be challenged, but I think in the end, from what I can tell through the research I did, I wouldn't advise the county not to do that if the commissioners made the determination that this was in the best interests of the citizens.
So basically, if you want this language added into the ordinances, I also need to know so that we can.
Well, do you have to have planning and zoning? Read it first.
It will need to be an amendment added to the
Yep.
already passed ordinances, as well as added into anything that we have not.
I'd say take it to them and then they can come back to us.
Okay.
Yep.
Just a word from my end here. McLean County zoning ordinance was drawn up to prevent wind turbines from locating in their county, and it worked. They drove the potential wind turbine companies out of their county. So we need to be cautious in including this McLean County zoning ordinance.
I guess I'm gonna read it, Lee, after the meeting, and then I'll.
That's a good thing about planning and zoning, read it gives us time.
Yeah, we'll have time, Lee, before this actually gets implemented.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to jump into what they did over in McLean County, because we're a different county. We're a much smaller county, and we need industry. that'll be my statements for that portion.
Okay. Anything else on ordinances?
Unless there's questions or comments from the people sitting in this room, I have nothing further as far as updates from planning and zoning.
Okay.
I mean, unless you want to ask anybody.
I'm not seeing hands.
I'm just curious on a situation like this. To me, that sounds very reasonable to let the people know what may or may not come down the pipe before it gets as far as we are into the wind towers in this county now. We feel like there's no recourse for the people who are not in favor of them at all. So something like that, I didn't read it obviously, but it sounds like it makes a lot of sense. So that's just my thoughts on that.
Well, and that's why I've been suggesting that any new industry comes in from now on, they have a meeting. We'll have it in center, not in Beulah or Hazen or Mandan. It'll be right here at our facility, and then everybody, the public, will know by paper, Facebook, whatever. Yep.
And it wouldn't be prohibiting anybody from coming to the county.
Nope. No.
It's just a way to allow input prior to the project itself getting so far in that there's no other way to
Right.
deal with it. So.
Okay.
Okay, I will take it to planning and zoning for them to
Get their opinion on
look
it.
at and potentially add it into the ordinances. If that's something you as the commission feel needs to be added though, I mean, after even the next meeting, after you've had time to read it and look into it,
We'll have to do that.
ultimately it's up to you.
Okay.
So
Yep.
if you tell them we need to add this in there, we add it in there.
Okay, well, we'll get their opinion and we'll read it and we'll look
Yep.
into it. Kenny, you're up.
Gosh, we're almost right on time.
Jim Jackson was gonna try and be here today, couldn't be. Just give me an update, I'll let you guys read it, it's just for some stuff that they came up with that CIP. And they'll be forwarding it to you also.
Thanks, Bill. So what this is saying is that Jim Jackson, the county, or Moore Engineering, will have a meeting with myself and
Me and Jay.
Katie and Jaden
Yep.
to go over any improvement plans we're looking at in the future.
Oh, geez.
It's for the
Okay.
CIP.
Okay.
Were you able to do anything with those pictures?
I can. Give me a minute. I was gonna say while we're waiting for me to turn that on and everything, the vacation for Marv, we just need final motion
Yes,
approval
we
that we
need a
can
motion for that.
allow carryover.
And I approve that.
Yep.
Because
She-
it was years ago, he wasn't aware he could use his sick leave for his doctor's appointments and stuff. So I approve of him being able
Yep.
to use it.
And I gave them a deadline of, the end of March.
Correct.
So if
April
anything
first.
he
Use it all.
doesn't use by then, he just
Yep.
loses.
Okay.
Lee, got an opinion?
I can only hear portions of what was said from the audience.
Alice is in favor of this because he was not aware that he could switch vacation into regular,
No, he was using his
he,
vacation time
instead of sick leave.
instead of sick leave.
Okay.
To go to the doctors and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was a misunderstanding in the past. That's why it wasn't used.
This is for Marv's vacation time, Lee.
Okay,
From years ago.
Because he was over. And
okay, got, okay, now I understand.
Okay, I'll make that motion to approve for Marvin Slinger to get
Vaca-
get everything back in order.
Okay,
I will second that.
Be 100 hours is total.
okay. Is there a second to that?
Second, yes.
And the deadline would be
March 31.
March 31st.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Equipment advertising?
Yes. So we talked about those few things to advertise. What I was wondering, and with Jaden on this too, if we could list some of the items we have on our Facebook page prior to a month, just saying that these would come up for sale at this time. Maybe we get more interest in some of this stuff.
Okay,
I don't know what your thoughts are.
what items you thinking?
Well, I think for now we're gonna wait off on the semi, but we'd list that 2006 Sterling plow truck.
Okay,
We would list the 85 International, the JCB backhoe, 36-foot bumper hitch, and the International green dump truck and the dually signed pickup.
Can you send me a list? 'Cause
Yeah, yeah.
So Lee, that would include the old state truck, the old orange one. And right now we've got one truck and that covers 40 miles when we have to use it. And Kenny's working on another deal to put a plow on the front of
Yes.
one of the
Yep.
blades if we need it. And then we wouldn't need that other orange truck sitting there, and maintenance is gonna be a problem eventually.
Sounds reasonable.
And I'm actually in the works. I've kind of drawn it up, but trying to figure out how I can do like a 300 bushel sander on the back of a motor grader that would hook on like our Packers do. Because the hydraulics are already there.
yeah, I can picture what you're trying to do, just put a spinner under it.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
it's in the works.
Okay,
Why don't you help him with that?
So, but it's be no heavier than our Packers or anything like that.
just put it on one unit.
Yep.
Okay.
So that would be on that. You able to?
I got it.
So these are the pictures. There'd be a lot of before.
It's not
This
the
one's kind of
greatest.
during.
We're getting a slideshow of the shop, Lee.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do anything fancy with them, sorry. I just opened your email.
Yeah. So this is kind of during when we started. This is after we washed walls, before we actually started doing a lot of cleaning and that stuff. This is before we touched areas. Same here as before.
Man, look at that floor.
These pictures are before also. And that's today. So those pictures were taken this morning.
So if you're wondering why we're looking, a year ago in 3 months, Alice and I did a tour of the facility. You couldn't hardly walk. There was stuff all over the floor. There was a big pit that they'd used for changing oil back in the day, was full and had water in it, smelled. They've since cemented that over. They painted, there was no lunchroom. So the lunchroom is upstairs above the office now. Otherwise, they had a table out in the middle of the shop. So dirty. Made some drastic improvements that needed to happen and take better care of our employees was the whole idea. And shop guys did probably 98% of this
Most of the work.
themselves.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a cost other than the material.
It was a huge safety hazard.
This was previous picture again. This is the new office that we just finished. Office is the same place, but when we went to paint it, found mold in the walls, all that, we gutted it, started over. So everybody did it in-house. So other than the electrician came and fixed the wiring so the lights don't shut off every time the air compressor kicks in. So,
And we replaced all the fire extinguishers that were
yes.
missing.
Yep. So,
And that window, when they tore it out because of the mold, that window just about fell out. It was just screwed into the tin, the frame.
boards are all, the sill plates are all rotted off in the walls, so we redid all that, fixed it, re-insulated, built walls on the exterior. And as of yesterday, contractor came and put the exterior door in, so it is done. So,
That's the before, right?
yeah,
Yep,
I
that's
hope
before.
so.
And I can attest that Kenny and the crew also cleaned up the yard outside too.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that was the wiring we got to deal with. Just hanging in the walls.
That's your finger.
So, and these are pictures of the mold on the bottom that was in the office when we went to decide to paint and took the wallpaper off, and that's what we found.
That's the last one.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
So that's where the paint and the building materials went. And then eventually here we're gonna be starting on the bathroom to get that finished. When they placed this toilet in there, they put it up against the beam. So the wax ring.
It doesn't work right.
Correct. And now that there's a bigger toilet in there, the newer style, it hits the beam, so well, you can guess what happens there.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but that's also something we'll be able to do in-house. It just takes
Sure.
some time.
Okay.
I did send you guys an email yesterday. Did you get it?
I did. I haven't
Didn't
looked at my
write that.
emails yet today.
The documents are in your Dropbox.
Yeah.
So I talked to everybody except for Lee on the backhoe, trackhoe aspect of it. The trackhoe we bought is a little excessive for most of the stuff we were doing. However, we are so upside down in it as far as price wise that you can't justify trading it in. We take $100,000 hit right off the top. The same with the state plow truck that we paid just shy of $300,000 for. So what I'm trying to do, we have a old JCB right now, backhoe. It's tired. You can't buy parts for it most of the time anymore. We've waited 3 months for a hydraulic seal. What I am proposing is to look at a used low-hour backhoe unit that we could use in place and keep the track hoe for a bigger job, so we're not, it's a lot of track hoe. It's a 50,000 pound machine. So, I did get a quote from Cat. Here are some from RDO. Here are some other ones from RDO, but they are higher hour units. And my thoughts on a 300 hour unit, it would last us a lot of years. We don't put a lot of hours on, but yet the ones in your hand, Rob, we cannot get warranty on. So the only ones we can get warranty on are these two and the one that I sent you on there.
That's the traded value if we trade the old one in.
Yes, possibly traded value.
But there's no warranty on these.
No warranty on those. And they're not up there in hours, but for the term that we will keep it, that's a lot of hours to get it if we're gonna get into something.
B and I need a backup.
So this one would be the closest to being an apples and apples deal.
Correct.
And there's 19 grand between them.
Yep.
Yeah, what year is this one? The 24?
It's a 24 with 300 hours on, and the Cat is a 23 with
300.
I seen it in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's $300. This is a rental fleet, out of their rental fleet, out of Wyoming, Cheyenne, Wyoming, I believe. This one is the one I was telling you guys about that
It says
every
MDU or
every 2
something.
years, whether they use them or not, they turn it in for new ones. And this one is 2,000, has the 2,000 hour, 5-year extended warranty.
You're not gonna put 2,000 hours on it.
Mm-mm. That's why that's covering it, you know, because but yeah, I don't know if you've seen these M2. These are the two that would be comparable to what's there. Is this the 410?
Okay,
That's the
same size, comparable size.
This one, yeah, these ones are comparable.
Okay, my suggestion would be we hang on to this and talk about it next month when Lee can review it. That works for you?
I can't say the other ones
It'd
will
be
be
available.
there. That's the only thing.
And the money?
We budgeted for the equipment.
Would we trade in the old one, or would
We would set, that would be one that we'd list for sale.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So Lee, the 24,
and I can email it to him too.
okay,
But
There's a John Deere with 300 hours on for 147, and there's a 23 Cat with 300 hours on for 129,
I
28.5.
think these are.
There's the hours I was looking for. Hours are
oh,
on
that's
top.
where it is, yep.
And the only thing is, on here, should be a good machine, but if you look at the warranty versus that warranty, it's the same hours, but my only concern is the price.
They want 12 grand to put a warranty on it.
That's what it says on there.
Do you have other John Deere stuff in Alpena?
What's that?
Do you have other John Deere stuff?
No, yeah.
Did have.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's table this till next month, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do.
Hopefully it's available or something similar.
They've got that stuff coming in every once in a while, I would think.
As long as it, yeah. So.
Is that good with you, Lee?
Yeah, that's fine. And I always listen to Kenny's recommendations because he knows what he's talking about when dealing with the equipment. So, but if we can delay it for a month, so we'll have a better understanding. Great.
And then as far as just lost my train of thought here. No, think about it for next time. 'Cause I don't remember.
Call for bids is part of your.
Yeah, well, that was the.
Put it underneath your
Yeah,
stuff so we.
that's for the oil and fuel bid.
Right.
We did make a couple changes.
Okay.
Because the previous bids had said a specific oil.
Yep.
I don't think we could do that.
That was something you brought up to me last year, that we needed to take the actual brand off of there. So we did take that off, and then we added a couple things.
Yep. Because there's other stuff that we use down there that we can't get.
Okay.
You know, or they can get them, but we have to have it for
Brand, certain
Yes.
specifications.
Yes, for say our new skid steer or our
Right.
tractor. So,
You need, yeah,
and we listed that on there so everybody will be able to see what it is.
must
The only
meet
thing would be
OEM
like-
specs.
What was it, washer fluid? Do we
Yeah.
have to bid that out?
The last few years it was bidded.
Okay.
On the bids, it specifically
Because
said
it's not,
washer.
it's not on the list, like the
Okay.
oil, fuel, it's fuel and oil, and then we've got gravel and rental equipment.
Should
So,
put DEF on there too.
DEF is on there.
Yeah.
DEF is on there.
That is
Yeah.
on there.
And
Yeah.
grease?
Lubricants, just put
Greases.
lubricants.
Yep, that's lubricants, yep. So, but I know the last year's bid, and they bid washer fluid also, so
Okay.
that should be covered.
And typically, they don't even use the form that I give them or send them. They just bring their own
Okay,
list
print
of
out or
stuff.
something.
But in the event that they don't bring their own list, they have the form that
Okay.
we put together. So
Okay.
But other than that, other than the tobacco aspect of it, I think that should pretty well take care of us, hopefully for a while.
Okay.
So,
Is there a deadline on bidding?
it's next
The
meeting.
next meeting.
So it'd be
Lee.
next month. I need a motion to authorize me to call for bids, to publish in the paper and then mail out to the people that have requested to be added to our list.
I'll make
for
that motion.
These items. And then typically we do it at the March meeting and I have specific times that we list that we have to do it on. So,
Okay.
and it's not changing from last year. So it's like 2:30, 2:40,
10 minutes.
whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion to call for bids?
Yes. Did Dave make the motion?
Yes, he did.
I will
Lee.
second it.
Okay, all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carried.
I will
I
put all that
remember what it
together
was.
and send it
Okay.
out.
That water tanker.
Yep.
I think we'd be better off instead of listing that, since it's aluminum, price of aluminum, haul it down for scrap. It's in bad shape, it breaks, the axles pivot when you turn corners. I'd rather not go down that road. I'd rather be able to just take it down there and
Get
Can you
it.
haul it down? Or can you pull it?
we can pull it, but
You just don't want to fill it with water and pull it. Get an estimate of what it's worth.
well, it's the whole bottom has been busted out before. And it's been fixed, and if you sit it and hold it in water, within a week, it's empty.
Oh, so it leaks.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
I'd say get rid of it.
I was thinking somebody could buy it for stationary storage, but if it leaks, you don't.
We've had it places to try and fix, and it just,
Okay.
so I just think it'd be best just to get it down
From a
there.
liability standpoint.
Yep.
No, that's okay.
And then, are we okay with advertising, not for sale, but stuff upcoming for sale on Facebook? We don't have to do anything special.
Those
for that.
items you listed don't actually, yeah.
No, they
put it
won't
like
be for sale till, and then we can make a motion next meeting
To
to
advertise.
actually
Add or not
advertise
add,
it.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, give me a list and I can just post it and just say the following items will be considered being placed up for bid or whatever at the
Right.
March meeting or however you'd like to handle that. So.
Alice, you're up.
Okay, so the holiday closure policy, when we reviewed that earlier, there was one you wanted me to take off. And that was Columbus Day, so I did do that.
It's in your Dropbox.
Yep, it's in your Dropbox.
I did put it in there.
So it would just be
Oh, no, it's
updating
there.
our number 304 holidays in our handbook. So basically,
304.
yep, right here. So the biggest change would be like if the 4th of July, I can't read upside down, I'm sorry. If the 4th of July is on Tuesday, the 3rd of July shall be observed as a holiday, so that would be Monday. So they would have Monday, Tuesday off. And if the 4th of July falls on a Thursday, the 5th day will also be considered a holiday. So they would have Thursday, Friday off. It's just a thank you to our employees. We'll give you another day off to enjoy the holiday. Same thing with Christmas. They have the 25th of December, which is Christmas Day, falls on a Thursday. The 26th of December shall be observed as a holiday like it was this year. It's just nice to have it in the policy so you don't have to, every time this happens, every 5 years, for them to come to you and say, can we close the courthouse? Can we do this? It would just be already there. So basically it's the same holidays that they have now. It's just adding those extra days if the holiday falls in that certain area.
Do you know what the other counties are doing? Are they doing?
Stutzman, pretty much most of the counties are doing this now. Stutzman County, Williams County, McKenzie County, Trying to think of all the ones that I've talked to.
Okay, how about Mercer? What are they doing? They're not doing it at all?
I think McLean is.
McLean is doing it. Yeah, McLean is. In fact, McLean actually took the Friday after New Year's Day off. So, and we didn't include that in this one.
It happens every 5 years, so it's not like it's every single day, but, and then any holiday that typically falls on, like if it would fall on a Saturday, we would just automatically get Friday off,
Right.
and then Sunday it would be that
Monday.
except for Easter, which doesn't count, apparently.
Do you guys
We
get
don't,
good-
we do not get Easter Monday off. We've never had that off.
Do you guys get Good Friday?
Yes, we do get Good Friday.
Lee, what's your thoughts?
I move that we go along with those changes. They make good sense.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
And you can always change your mind if it ends up not working out for you guys and
Well,
somebody.
we can revisit
if
in a
there's
year.
issues, we can always
Sure.
change it. I mean,
I just think it's a way to thank your employees for all the hard work they do throughout the year. Thank you.
Sheriff's Department.
Yes, so, as we know, the administrative assistant has retired. We have been advertising for a licensed peace officer to kind of do administrative work and do courthouse security. We have not received any applications. So I'm kind of suggesting that maybe we look at some other options for that position. Probably not a licensed peace officer, but looking at different ways we can probably try to fill that role. I do know Carrie said that she would come back a few days to help out during this time.
Training.
Yeah, training and stuff like that. So I think we start advertising that way in a different direction. What's your guys' thoughts?
It's a position that needs to be filled. I would sure like to see a peace officer in there, but
I know.
if we can't find that person, then we can't find them.
Have we given that enough time yet?
It's been 2 weeks since I've had the advertisement out.
can we advertise it as that position, and then if no applications come in, say consider filling it at a like step, like a level, you know, like an office.
We could say prefer
yeah.
prefer a licensed peace officer, but we'll accept other applications as well.
Yeah, my thoughts are we should give it a little more time before we change anything, and want a little more time would maybe be another month.
Are you gonna get?
I have, I talked to other departments that have tried to get licensed law enforcement, and they've
struck out.
Had no luck. It's taken 6 months to a year for some departments to get one person hired, and they're looking for licensed law enforcement.
The only thing I could think of was like somebody semi-retired who didn't want to do the road work anymore, but that's not easy
No
to find.
shift work, yeah.
But we could definitely advertise for another few weeks or a month to say, you know, we prefer a licensed peace officer, but if not, we would.
Licensed
open.
peace officer preferred.
Right, yep.
That'd probably be the way to go. You know, and then there's another option instead of dragging it out, because eventually it's gonna get.
Yeah, these guys need a person there.
Yeah.
Right now, Mercer County's picking up the slack for us.
Well, no, not really. I mean, not for our office work.
No, for the work, but I mean, as far as any calls coming into your
yeah.
office are
Yeah.
going to Mercer County.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, I'll just continue to advertise then.
Okay.
Um,
HREM.
Yep, now the good news. The Mercer County Commission has asked that we drop the price per hour for the emergency manager HR type hours. So the last one that you guys signed was $60.34. They asked to have it dropped to $52.94 an hour for both. So it'll be a cost savings for all of our counties.
That's troubling.
So I'm hoping you will approve it, and I'm doing an okay job for you guys that you would approve this, and then we can sign it and get this done. And this would be for 1 year. If you want, you can look at them.
Basically, it's a revision from what was approved last month.
Yeah, it's just reducing the costs. Because I know that you are, you know, Oliver is a smaller county, and that 3% cap's really hurting you, so.
Any thoughts, Lee?
no, I guess offhand, I don't know what kind of comment to make on that.
Yeah, they
I
basically,
would think that, I think we should be kind of fortunate that there's been a reduction in costs.
right, yeah, that
And
they
we appreciate-
recalculated that. We
Appreciate
appreciate
Mercer
that.
County looking into it and
Right.
looking out for us.
Is there a motion to accept this?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Mitigation plan?
Daniel called me today and said that he was supposed to be on the agenda with you, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know that, so I added him.
I'll
and
get
he's
him.
obviously not here, and he was gonna join in earlier, and I had some issues, so.
Let me call.
And that meeting's Thursday night, correct?
Tomorrow night
Oh, tomorrow night.
at Hazen City Hall.
Hello.
Hey, Daniel, I have you on speakerphone for Oliver County Commission meeting.
Hi.
Okay, they're ready for you.
Okay, hello everyone. I was just going to give you an update on the mitigation plan process. So we have our next meeting tomorrow, 6:30 at Hazen City Hall. The meeting is going to focus on the mitigation strategy for each county and each city in the counties. We will focus on developing that strategy and finalizing the projects based on the last meeting, which we had at the courthouse in Center. That's where we did the risk assessment for the mitigation plan. So tomorrow we'll have the meeting on the mitigation projects. Then in 1 month, we're going to do one more meeting where we're going to have the draft plan ready for hard copy review by the committee. Also, we're going to look at implementation and do further development on next steps of each of the projects and how do we integrate those into our existing mechanisms. So if there aren't any questions on that, I wanted to then piggyback that into the data center stuff that you guys were talking about earlier.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Any questions from anyone?
Nope, not so far, Daniel.
No. Okay, so let me just I'll get right to it. Whichever commissioner said it before, we don't need to research because other counties have done it. At this point, a decision just needs to be made. Tyler Perleyberg is the planning and zoning and tax director for Stutsman County. Just a little bit about me. I grew up in Dickinson. I went to college in Fargo my first year. I transferred to Minnesota. When I came back, I worked for the regional council in Jamestown for the first 2 years and then moved to Bismarck, and that's how I'm at where I am now. I met Tyler over a decade ago through the work that we've done, and he's done extensive planning and zoning work with townships, rural areas, and with Stutsman County, and they just finalized their data center and other related uses ordinances. They did it in a specific way where they can just amend and do variances or conditional use permits to their existing zoning that they have now. But what he told me, and then he told me back when we had the energy boom, was that if Stutsman County already develops a man camp or a data center ordinance or whatever, they're pretty much always going to be the same across the board, except for just kind of setbacks are the big determining difference. So I had mentioned to the auditor and to Alice, I just said, why reinvent the wheel? Adopt what they have through whatever process, and then when it's in place, refine it from there. So the best example I can give you, in Stutsman County, they originally had the setback for data centers at 1 mile, and when they had that implemented, they realized that there was still some sound and light and other impacts that surrounding landowners were experiencing, so they increased it to 2 miles. And so that's what the current update is that they have. You can Google it. It was just in the news this last week or last week, and they finalized it, and so that'd be something to start at. I know that's kind of what you guys were leaning on doing, or you can do the moratorium if you want it all together. But I was talking with Jaden a little bit about it, and that's what I had mentioned with her, and I saw she had mentioned earlier in the meeting as well.
And I did receive a copy of their actual ordinance for that, just data centers, from their auditor. I will forward it on to you so you are able to look at it. So, you as well. I'll just send it to you.
Sounds good.
Does anyone have any questions or any comments, or do you kind of follow where I'm going with this?
Yes, I appreciate that information.
Okay.
And I think one other thing I want to put out there is when we look at these industries, we also want to include emergency management. So we know how to respond when something happens at those places. Just like I work with BNI and Minn Kota, I would want to make sure we work with them as well. And that they are willing to work with us as an emergency response team.
Right. One more quick example I can give, and I just want to preface this. I don't mean to be negative on anybody, but if you have been to Watford City in the last 10 years, they had what I would call a traditional grid street setup of their city. It was a quaint, cute little town. It was very similar to Hazen, Beulah, Golden Valley, some of the towns that we have in our counties, center as well. And if you go to Watford City now, it is just unchecked haphazard development everywhere. The street grid, the overall layout and design is gone. It's a bunch of one-ways. It's parts of town that are completely inaccessible unless you drive there. They're like a mile from the next nearest development. It's just kind of what we call leapfrog. It's very scattered and skips over the next part. There's a bunch of land in between, and it makes everything hard for planning and zoning to emergency services. They've had a lot of issues with ambulance and fire up there, not being able to find where the call is coming from because of the new development and how it isn't a consistent access. In addition to a whole bunch of other issues in terms of snow removal and garbage and trash pickup inefficiencies there. I would hate to see that type of thing happen to another area of North Dakota because Watford just got caught so unexpectedly with so much growth. And if we in Oliver and Mercer County are able to learn from that mistake and have an idea of what's coming down the pipeline for development, we should be getting these things in place so we don't have that same issue. Because once that development occurs, it's permanent. You can't really go back in and change it. You know? So just food for thought.
Any questions?
Not right now.
It's good that we got people working on it.
Yeah, it's good information.
Lee, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Alice, did you have anything for me to address what you wanted, or are we missing anything else?
Nope, I think you touched everything, Daniel. I appreciate it.
Okay. Call me if you have any other questions, and commissioners, don't be afraid to reach out either.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you tomorrow night.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Are you gonna be able to go?
Tomorrow night?
I won't be able to make it.
Yeah, I'll make it.
Great.
I need directions to the city hall, but I'll make it.
It's on Main Street. You can't miss it.
No, that one you can't miss.
You cannot miss it. You know where Capital Credit Union in Hazen is? It's right across the street.
Main Street.
Yeah.
You gotta go south a couple blocks and go west. Okay.
Yes. Anything else for me?
Nope.
All right,
Alice,
thank you.
Can you stay?
Absolutely. Yep.
E91.
Got him. We do this every year, once a year. This is our agreement with the city for our 911 services. It ties in with our 911 agreement that we have with Mercer County. The city pays us or reimburses us for half of our bill from Mercer County, the $70,000 one, and they pay us $35,000 for the 911 services. But then also we get money for, it's like the 911. There's an E911 deal that we get from NDACO, and so part of that money goes to the city also. So it's just, this is an agreement saying that they pay us for half of the expenses we incur from Mercer County. Then also they get money from these E911 that NDACO sends us. So basically, it's just an every year we have to do this. So the city, I believe, talked about it last night.
I move that we approve the agreement.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
If I could jump back for a little bit to go to Kenny. I've had more time to think about that. Would you sooner make that purchase of the backhoe now, or what's your opinion? Because I gotta, like Lee said, you know, you've been digging into it. You're doing everything for the good of the county.
I I've done a lot of research on as far as the pricing and all that stuff goes of it. My biggest thing is to find a low hour machine that we can still get warranty on. I just don't want, you know, to buy something and it's gonna end up costing the county more money in the long run. We looked at getting, possibly trading the excavator in for a smaller machine, and for what we paid for it, or, I mean,
Can't do that.
to what it's worth. I mean, I can buy that excavator, I can buy brand new now for $60,000 less than we paid for it. So I'm just trying to, if we had another machine to use, we could keep the big hours, you know, and it's a big machine, like some of this stuff, it just don't work.
That would last forever if we had a smaller machine and take the light work off.
Correct. And that's kind of where I was thinking.
So do you have a preference on those? The John Deere over the Cat?
There's no preference.
But the Cat, we don't have any warranty.
No, the Cat we do.
Oh, the Cat we do, okay.
And the other two John Deere's there is, and the price difference there.
Yeah, there's about $20,000 difference.
Yeah. So,
Well, I think that if we can save money by not delaying the purchase, I mean, it'd be foolish if we didn't act on that.
Can I just make a public,
Yep.
give them a public comment?
Sure.
Since we are having this early thought,
Yep.
I would think for their sake, I mean, I know you guys are talking about getting rid of the GC or JCB. Not sure if you plan on using that until you sell or not, but
no, that's one of the ones that will go up for sale.
I mean, at least then you would have something if you would need it during the
Right.
spring, because you're not gonna, road restrictions, you're not gonna be able to haul your big one.
Right.
You could at least get that to.
Clean out culverts.
And I mean,
Have
road
an
restrictions, we are
ice jam or
exempt, but for emergency service, but
That Cat, that was the extended hoe? That's it?
yes,
Okay.
yes. And it's already equipped, extend the whole thumb, everything.
It's got the, okay.
Actually, that John Deere's will be too.
It's equipped the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Lee, what are your thoughts?
I think we should tell Kenny to go ahead with the purchase.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, go ahead and take care of that.
Which one are you going with?
I'm assuming it'd be
You want the low price one, right, Lee?
Yes.
the Cat.
The
I
Cat?
think, yeah,
The
yes.
Cat for 128, I think it was.
From Butler.
Yes.
For the
it's from Butler.
128.
Yep.
Okay.
The one you have.
Yep.
This next one down, I got the price. Okay. Election JPAs with Hazen and Washburn.
Yeah, so, just as a fun, we never used to do this, but the state is recommending that we do this now. Any, school or city or, other entity that asks us to do, elections for them, we are required to have a JPA with them. So that way everybody's roles are understood. Washburn and Hazen school districts have approached us to also put their school board elections on our ballot for June. We've never done that before. We had Hazen 2 years ago. It's always just been city of Center and then the county, and then they've done their own thing. And now they've said that they would like their school board elections to be on our ballot as well. It's not an issue. Just to add another contest on there, the only time it would become an issue is if it would become, instead of a front and back ballot, a 2-pager. I don't foresee that happening, but in order for us to put them on there, we need to have a JPA in place. I actually brought the cities and the schools because I need your signature on that, but I need theirs also for you to just sign if you're good with it. We already approved it with the city and the school here. That was, I think, last fall already, we talked about it. And they just recently said, yes, we want to be on the ballot. So I just need approval that, I mean, you guys are good with us also adding them onto our ballot. There's no cost to them until it would become a 2-pager, or we do a
Okay, that's
recount.
what I was wondering. If
There's no cost because realistically,
It's ink on a piece of paper.
But if there's a 2-pager, are they willing to pick up that cost?
yes, so they would end up picking up, you know, so how our elections work is we have splits in the county. And so the Hazen School District, the Washburn School District are split off and they'd have their own ballot. So anybody that lives in that particular split votes on that ballot. So 50% of the cost would go to Washburn School for if our ballot ended up going to a 2-pager for that particular split, not the whole county. It's just for the maybe 150 that we get printed. And then if we'd have to do a recount, they would take on that whole cost if it was for their contest, not
Right.
a county one.
So that's in the agreement?
The agreement with them, yeah, so we do have a cost portion in there that the county and the school would share in the savings provided by holding joint elections. The county will pay all costs associated. If more than a single page ballot is required, the city, park, or school district will share in the costs. And it would be for the Washburn School District, because they were not included in the original JPA, it would be 50% of that particular ballot. It's just something that we have to have on record to show that we are willing to put this on our ballot, and then we do necessary things that are required. So the Secretary of State is very adamant that we have these in place. So I'd like to get it in place now so I can send it back to the school and say, okay, we're good to go.
Cedric, say anything?
No, I don't. In fact, I think it's a great idea.
Lee, your thoughts?
Yep, let's go for it.
Is that a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Yes.
Dave made the motion. You get the second it, Lee.
Okay, I do.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mark, there must be meeting date conflict?
Yes. So March 5th is actually a mandatory election training from the Secretary of State that Linda and I both have to go to. If we miss it, we're going to be in some big trouble. So we need to move our meeting date, and the recommendation is to move it from March 5th to March 12th. And that is,
Still be on a Tuesday,
no, but that'll be the Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I believe Dave had a scheduling conflict for the 10th, and there was something else going on that was not going to work.
10th or the 12th, I've got a dentist appointment on the 12th at 1:30, so.
We can do that here.
Yeah.
Is it possible to move it a day prior or 2 days prior to the?
So
to
the problem with moving it before the 5th is that that week is also payroll week, and it is also the first of the month, meaning that the bills, the apportionment, all of that comes in within those first 1 to 3 days of the month. So there won't be what you need here. And my office does payroll, like Linda does payroll, and it just gets.
What days are you at your thing?
The 5th and the 6th are the days that Linda and I have to be gone.
Could we pull it off on the 4th or the 11th?
Well, if we want to do the 11th, I'm fine with doing it the 11th if that works for either of you. If it's a Wednesday, because I know, Dave, you said you were gone the 10th. Or you're coming back the 10th.
Yeah.
Does the 11th possibly work? It's a Wednesday.
Oh, to me, it's no difference between 11th and 12th, so whatever. If we have to go that week, whatever works for the other guys.
I wouldn't change it if I wasn't required by law to be there.
You're booked on the 12th? Dave?
Yeah.
I can't miss that.
On the 12th is when I got a dentist appointment at 1:30.
Unless we do it the 12th at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
The shop could do it, but they don't have no painkiller.
Oh, yeah. We have great flavor.
Starting.
Not that it worked, but we should sure give it a try.
Well, yeah, like
Pat,
you could use, don't
you got an opinion on that?
On that, I mean, I'm sure they have a drill.
Cordless even.
Yeah, I mean, it may be a little big, but
I did check if there was district court, and they said no.
Okay.
So we should be okay.
I mean, what's your level of commitment to the county, Dave? You willing to go in there?
I don't trust it.
We'll let Barb run the drill.
So are we doing the 11th, or if
If the 11th works.
If the 11th should work fine, I just hesitate to put it any earlier than the 5th because of all the reasons I listed, because it just
Okay.
gets to be a lot. Unless you want to do it at 8 o'clock in the morning on the 12th. It's up to you guys.
I can't do
I
that.
prefer not.
I got a jury trial on the 11th, guys.
For March?
March 11th, yeah.
Okay. Oh, and I suppose that's a Wednesday because that's when you guys usually go to court. In the morning? Or is it all day?
It's usually a full day, and I think one of them are gonna go.
Okay. Unless we want to do it on Friday, the 13th.
Looks like we have court
Which
the
is
morning
almost
of the 11th as well.
Okay.
13th open.
The 13th is a Friday.
Yeah, I can do that.
That's a little scary.
So the 11th doesn't work for you?
No, sir.
He's got court.
Friday?
I guess you're gonna have to get Kenny out to do chores for you on the
13th works.
Okay. Friday at 1 o'clock?
13th, Lee, at 1 o'clock.
That works.
Okay?
I'll try and make it.
Okay. If something comes up between now and
We'll
then, I
fix
will
it.
make sure that you guys are aware.
Okay. Court facilities grant updates.
So at the end of December, we approved the clerk of court applying for a grant for some updated furniture in the
Oh,
courtroom.
Great.
We received a letter the other day that we were approved, so we will receive $850.42, which, well, that reflects the 25% contribution by the county. So we pay 25%. We show them the receipts that everything is done. So Rebecca will order what she needs, then she'll compile all the information, submit it, then we will be reimbursed the
Up to-
75%. Yep. So she's getting new tables where the attorneys sit. There's going to be some new cords. Then there's a desk extension for the clerk of court in there as well. But it's right now the way it's set up is not technology friendly. We'll just put it that way. So she's trying to make it more efficient because you as lawyers show up with your laptops or a tablet or something, and you often need to plug it in.
Yeah, I mean, we're using extension cords right now, and
Trip hazard, safety hazard. She's trying to figure out a way to make it that it's
probably a
less-
fire hazard too.
Yeah. So she's actively working to make that room updated. Now, as just an aside on this, we need to figure out what to do with the old stuff that's in there. So the tables that are currently in there that you guys use, we need to figure out what to do with them. We have sold in the past. Sometimes if the county shop needs desks or furniture or something, we ask them if they want it first or if there's anywhere else in the building that could take it. I don't know that we have a lot of room elsewhere in here, the building, for these big tables. If you guys need it, I mean, other than that, we've put stuff out on bids for tables to the public for just like a minimal amount that people can purchase. And then after that, we just need to figure out what to do with it. We don't have ample storage in this building, so.
We'll, when we get there, we'll decide.
Yes, so she will order once I let her know that we're good to go, and then we'll figure it out from there. I just wanted to let you know that's a bit of good news because
Sure.
we've received approval to do that. And then also with that, for this coming year, between now and the end of December, there are projects that, if they pertain to the court and court facility, meaning security upgrades or anything like that, we can apply for this grant with those. It has to apply to the court, but security for the building applies to the court. We would not be able to implement or purchase anything until after we get approved, so that would put us back on some of the options, but just think about it. So now that you're aware that there's an option out there, I want to say we've gotten approved for pretty much everything that we've applied for in the past. So
you're gonna apply for it?
well, the deadline is at the end of this year. So if
Oh.
we're doing some sort of security update for this year, it wouldn't qualify for
Okay.
this. But if there's anything else further, if we update the camera system or if we get a metal detector that's permanent or something like that, this is an option.
Okay.
I got a couple things too that I forgot to mention. I talked to Lane this morning, or yesterday actually. I was gonna bring up on the west side of the road, if you guys care, if we can handle it. Some water that builds up, it builds up there all the time. If we can handle it between him and I and figure out a solution and go from there.
So I believe in the past Marvin has tried to
Yes.
cut a trench.
Yeah.
Because that's always been an issue. And I notice right now, it's pretty ugly. Is there a chance of getting gravel on either side? If you can find it, or scoria?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we're doing right now.
Yeah, just to keep from all the mud getting drug across?
As long as we can get it here.
Yeah, I think if you guys want to work together, I think we're good with that.
Yeah, that's okay, Kenny.
And then the other thing is I was going to talk about drain spouts in the courthouse. Because
Okay.
when it starts melting,
Yeah.
it wants to pool up against the wall. We did put
Extensions?
yeah, we put extensions and run them out, to get it away from the building. But once it thaws, we'll have to get a couple new concrete plates to get the
Oh.
water. And next to the wall, the ground is quite a bit lower than away, so I mean, we're gonna have to get some
We
black
actually
dirt
have
and
issues in where these drains are
Yep.
with water coming into the building. The recorder's office has issues with it, and then the veterans and judges chamber has
That corner.
issues with it. The storage room back here has had issues. I don't know.
Yes, in the northwest
Some of
corner
the
is-
corners up here, social services has one right by theirs. It may have some issues, but it
Yeah.
hasn't been super noticeable. And I believe we have one on
Yes.
our side. I haven't seen anything on that side, but not saying
The
it couldn't
extensions
become an
help,
issue.
getting away, but they're only good if it's thawing, because
Yeah.
once the tubes freeze, then you're SOL. But I think we can alleviate that by hauling in some black dirt this spring and getting it built up.
Because
And
it's sloping
it's
toward the
towards the
building
building.
instead of away. So we're having, I mean,
It's a
I
landscaping issue.
don't
Yeah.
want to know what the inside of the walls looks like where it's been leaking.
But, and then the other issue is, we did this parking lot, well, it's been 3-4 years ago now. So we need to do an oil overlay on that, which we can do.
You got the equipment to do
Yeah,
that.
it's done by hand. But we can do it, say, on a Thursday night, and then so it's got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it should be ready to go again Monday.
You do that by hand?
Yeah, that's not,
So would you like to
better.
everybody to courthouse stay over and help?
well, that's what I think. We'll start with the auditor's
Oh,
office.
see, here I was thinking you were just going to give us a Friday off and then we wouldn't have to come in at all.
I volunteer Warren.
Yeah, I'm not touching that.
I volunteer Patrick.
I'll be there.
But, so just for Friday, we'd have to park out front, But
I don't think
we got a
that's-
good parking lot, so I mean,
Keep it up,
let's keep it
maintain it.
Or when they redid this, I think I was still working in this office down here and we had to park out front
Right.
for a few weeks or something like
Got a lot of
that.
dirt
Yeah,
out and
I think we do have a building maintenance budget, which will cover whatever Kenny needs to do there.
We should, yeah. And
Right.
we'll verify what that amount is, but I don't see why we would have
Yeah,
to.
that's-
Especially since
well,
you'll
we
be
have the
doing-
oil on hand,
Yeah,
so.
since you'll be doing it, it should cost us an awful lot less than
Just the
hiring
supplies.
somebody.
Yeah. Actually, our tanks are full of MC 3000, and that's what same oil we'd use to crack seals.
So are you our courthouse maintenance person? So anytime I need something, I can call you?
Jim said he was bored.
Okay.
I just figured we'd get it fixed up so that way.
Okay, get ahead of it. Okay. Courthouse Wi-Fi?
So in your Dropbox, there is a quote from Jamie Nelson from Computer Express. We have had a little bit of issues with the Wi-Fi in the courthouse the last couple of months where we have not been able to connect in this room in particular. Also, right now, it's with NRG, which is, we have NRG software, or computer services, and then we have Computer Express. NRG right now, we're paying like a $50 a month for the appliances for Wi-Fi, and then it's like a connectivity fee. When Jamie was here last week bringing your iPads, he was working with them to fix their Wi-Fi. And he said, we offer Wi-Fi also. And so I asked him to provide me with a quote.
So this would be a whole new system.
It would be an entirely new system. What he told me is that they do not charge us a monthly fee. Right now we're paying NRG a monthly fee for the Wi-Fi. The upfront cost would be $2,396, and then that'd be it. He would come up and install it. We would have Wi-Fi, and there would be no monthly cost for the Wi-Fi. And it would be it would be through the state secure network, just like we currently have, but we wouldn't be paying a monthly.
How much is that? Do you know?
It's like $50 a month, I think. It's not a huge amount, but when you look at what it could save us for like a 6-year time span, because he said roughly every 6 years he recommends changing out the actual hardware every 6 years.
Well, $50 a month at 6 years is what, $3,000?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So if he changes out the hardware, then that's a cost on us for the new router or whatever. It's
Correct. So
gonna
every 6 or so years he would come up with the new, because obviously technology changes. The old stuff is the stuff that we currently have, from what he said, is actually kind of an outdated hardware, and he recommends updating anyways. So whether we switch to him or we stay with NRG, we should probably look at updating.
Well, right now he's our IT guy that we work with.
He is the IT for my office, the tax director's office, the treasurer's office, the state's attorney's office now, because they were previously with NRG. And then I think he actually does, we don't pay for it, but Mike and Shirley, the abstract office, he works with them. NRG is the recorder's office and the clerk. Oh yes, and he does the county shop too, Computer Express. He's very easy to work with, and he comes here quarterly, if not more, if we need him.
So where would that come out of?
The general courthouse budget. We have a computer, Wi-Fi software budget.
Well, right now it's not working very good, so.
Well,
we need to
we've
do
had
something.
issues, and apparently there was a port that was dead and not working, which is why down here this side wasn't working at all. So when I was trying to live stream, I couldn't get a connection. So I ended up using my personal hotspot to live stream, which, whatever. But this is just something that I asked him about, so he provided me a quote. If it's something you want to do, we can. If we stay with NRG, I can request a quote for upgraded equipment. Whether or not they'll do it, I guess I don't know.
What do you think, Lee, for $2,400?
The way it sounds to me, it's long term. We come out ahead. I believe the way it sounds. So.
Well, we're outdated already.
Well, the monthly maintenance, he says in here, we already pay like a monthly fee to him for all of our stuff. And so it's just included in that cost. It's no additional cost to us. So, I mean, if we have an issue with it, I can call him up and say, hey, we have a problem. And he'll either try to remotely fix it or he will drive up here.
Okay, I'll make a motion. We switch over to Computer Express for the amount of $23.96.
Is there a second?
I will second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
We'd like it done tomorrow.
I will see what I can do. I
Clerk of Court funding agreement.
can't guarantee that. So I received a letter, and they still have Lee listed as the commission chair, so I'll have to get that fixed. But we, every 2 years, we have to renew our agreement with the state court they reimburse us for our clerk of court services. It's not the full amount. It's probably like $14,000, give or take, every year. But we have to renew with them every 2 years. To continue that, or we say, well, we're just providing our own services at our own expense, zero reimbursement costs whatsoever. So, because we have a clerk of court on staff here, I recommend that we renew our agreement for 2 years,
Right.
because we'll at least get
Something back.
something back from the state for providing those services. We don't have to do it like today, but the due date is April 1st. So, but
I move that we approve
I'll
the
second.
reassign.
Dave second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment policy?
So this was kind of brought up because of the last planning and zoning meeting. There was discussion about doing a public policy, and I know, Patrick, you had brought it up
Several
a
months
few
ago.
Yeah,
months
I mean,
ago.
it was shortly after the new commission met, I think, like this,
Yeah,
maybe
well,
the
and the
second.
legislature like put something into law that we're supposed to have a public comment period, and so we need some type of policy in writing that says there's either, I mean,
I had put together.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yeah.
had put together something based on what the statute was, and then also based on some guidance that I found. And I had presented it to y'all. God, I don't know the date that we talked about it.
I'll have to go back and look.
And so I can certainly resend that to you, Jaden, if you want.
I probably still have it.
You know, the idea behind it is to create an orderly presentation of discussion of topics that are on the agenda. It's not to exclude people, and it's to provide a certain amount of time limit for people to present their thoughts. And it requires them to, I guess, sign in and indicate who they are. I know the last time we talked about it, I think the general consensus amongst you, the commissioners, was we didn't need it yet. I'm more than happy to provide, like I said, I'll provide it to Jaden, and then you can decide on it.
I have it here. It was in June, and I can resend it to all of you. Just kind of based on what was kind of what was tried to be implemented at the planning and zoning meeting. When I talked to Dave, I said, well, maybe as the county commission, since you guys are the appointing authority of those, you come up with a policy and then it gets just implemented across the board. And so each board is not trying to do their own thing.
So do we have any group off of the county that's taxpayer funded should really go by this, whatever we implement?
I think that would be fine. I think it would be appropriate. It creates uniformity. It prevents, and I'm not saying anyone would do this, but it prevents misinterpretation of what the statute is, prevents, putting something into place that shouldn't be there. And if it conflicts with what other people do, it creates confusion for the county.
And we've always been very open about allowing the public to speak, and that's not really the problem. It's just that I know that there have been meetings, particularly planning and zoning, where some of the public comment gets extremely lengthy from some, and then when somebody else tries to speak, it's not the same across the board. They don't
Right.
get as much time because they already took up a half an hour, and now nobody wants to sit here for another half an hour. And
Let's look into that. I think we need to definitely address it.
Okay, yeah, Jaden, I'll.
I just forwarded all
you
of
did
you
find it, okay.
what Patrick had put together last June, and I believe this was the same thing or similar to what Aaron Burst had sent out to everybody too.
Yeah, it was
following
similar.
that,
I don't
so-
think it was exactly the
Yeah.
same, but it was similar. I wouldn't make any changes to what I previously put together.
Okay.
That came up because I know Dave and I had talked about it, and I said I'll put it on the agenda so we can talk about it. I just think if one board is going to try to have rules, then I think the commissioners as the appointers of those boards should be the ones making the rules, so that way across the board it's the same,
Everybody's
and
the
there aren't
same.
going to be issues with it down the road.
No, and I mean people that want to come and make public comment in public hearings, like with what we do public hearings, or when various committees that you've appointed to public hearings, you know, they'll understand what the process is. It may be uncomfortable at first, but I think just in general, it's a good way of doing county business.
Okay. Anything else? Alice?
I will be out of the office, out of the country, February 20th through March 2nd.
Oh, it must be nice.
Sheriff Turns will be in charge of EM.
Do you want us to vote on that?
It's already been decided.
How about a moratorium on
I
Alice?
know, 10 days.
It's just an idea. Does Greg or B&I got anything?
Okay.
You said you're going to Judson?
If there's nothing else, we will adjourn.
I'm a big shit.
Thanks, Lee. Enjoy your time down there.